Hello and welcome. In this video, we will learn about 2D arrays or two-dimensional arrays. Okay. Now here I have written a block of code. Now this is an array of ages and this array contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements and each of the element is a single value. Correct? 4 is a single value, it is an element. 7 is a single value, it is an element. 6 is a single value, it is an element, and so on. All the elements are single values. I have used a for loop here which will get me all the elements of this array. So when I run this, I get the elements of this array. Okay. Now this is about 1D array. I will keep this here and comment it out just to bring about the difference between 1D array and 2D arrays. Okay. Now I will scroll down. Yeah. I want to create an array like this. 53, 22, 11 are the elements of the first element. Okay, I'll tell you about this in detail, do not worry about it. 19, 6 and minus 3 are the elements of second element. Alright. Now, using 2D arrays, we can create matrix like this. So let me create it and show it to you. So here we say the data type just like this, int. Okay, and here let me use values for the name of the array. Okay, values, random name. And now we need to have two square brackets. Okay, two square brackets. Here we have only one square bracket because this is a 1D array. So here it is a 2D array, so we need to have two brackets. Okay, and then is equal to, and inside curly braces, we have to write the values. Okay, now how do we write values? See, I have 53, 22 and 11. This itself is an array. Okay, I want this in the form of array. So basically 2D arrays are nothing but array of arrays. Okay, array of arrays. So here I will say what are the values? 53, 22, 11. 53, 22, 11. Okay, so this is the first element of this array. Okay, now I will put a comma here and then write this 19, 6 and minus 3. 19, 6 and minus 3. Okay, 19, 6 and minus 3. Now I will use this. Alright. So this is basically a 2D array. Okay, 2D array. I hope you are able to understand. Now, inside this should be the number of rows in the array. Okay. How many rows do we have? 1, 2. So, 2 rows. This 2D array contains 2 rows. And how many columns does it contain? 1, 2, 3. So, 3. Okay, 3. So, this is a 2D array. Now you can write like this, you can write it like this for better understanding. But to bring about a similarity between this and this, let me do this. Okay. Alright. Yeah. And at the end, okay. Yes. Alright. So this is my 2D array. Now you can pause the video and try to find the similarities between this and this. See, we have our brackets just like what we have here, correct? Now, this is one element. This is one more element of this array. In this element, we have three more elements. In this element, we have three more elements. Okay? In other words, this is equal to this. So here we have only one value, 4. Correct? 4 is the first element of this array. In this array, this is the first element. This is the first element. Okay? Here 7 is our second element. Here this array is our second element. Alright? Now, here we have single value, here we have array. Now, in this array, there are three more elements. In this array, there are three more elements. Okay? In the same way, you can have as many number of rows and as many number of columns. You can build 3D array, 4D array and so on. Alright? But the logic remains same. Here in 2D arrays, each element is an array. Here in 1D array, each element is a single value. Alright? Yes, I hope it is clear. Now, I want to access the values. You know how to access the values of an array, correct? In the same way, we access the values of this. We have index number for all the elements and sub-elements. So if I go here and show you this, it will be clear. Okay? First row has index value 0. Second row has index value 1 or index number 1. Similarly, if you have more number of rows, the number of index will go on increasing. And in the same way, each row is made up of three elements, correct? Sub-elements. The first element has 0 index value or 0 index number. Second element, sub-element, has 1 index number and so on. Alright? Meaning, if you want to access this value, then you must use 0 and 0. Okay? So let me use it and show it to you. So here I will say cout and I'll say values, okay? First square bracket, second square bracket, okay? In the first square bracket should be the row index number. Row index number is 0. I want to access 53. So 0 is the row index number. So 0. And the second value is the element index number. Okay, sub-element index number 0. So 0. Alright. So now let me run this. And you can see I get 53 as result. Okay, 53 as result. Now looking at this, it may be difficult for you to figure out what these two values are. But if you put it in this way, it will be clear. Okay. Now see, this is of 0th row. This is of first row, meaning first index number row. Okay. I want to access the value from this row, 0th row, 0th index number row. So I have used 0. This has 3 elements. The index number starts from 0, you know that, correct? So 0, 1, 2. I want to access 53, which is at 0th position, and so 0. Alright? I hope it is clear. Now, if I want to access minus 3, I need to use 1 and 2. So let me use 1 here and 2 here. Let me run this. And you can see I get minus 3. Okay. Now changing the value is also similar to that of in 1D array. Okay. Now let us say I want to change this minus 3 value to minus 6. Okay. So I'll say values, and I have to mention the index number of this 1 and 2. So 1 is, or 1 goes here, 2 goes here, and here I will say minus 6. Okay, here I am trying to print it out. So let me run this. Okay, I missed, yeah, and you can see I get minus 6. Okay, so here we have 2 square brackets, that's all. Alright, I hope it is clear. I hope you can find out or figure out the difference between 1D and 2D arrays. Now let me use a for loop. Okay, a for loop. So here I have used a for loop to iterate over all the elements of this array. Now if I want to print all the elements of this array, this one big array, then I have to use for loop here too. So I'll say for int I equal to 0, I less than how much? 1, 2, 3. Correct? No, it is the rows. First comes the rows. Okay. So here how many rows are there? 1 and 2. 0 and 1 are the index number. So we will say 2. Okay. I will explain this. Do not worry. And then I plus plus. Alright. Next, I will open the curly braces, and inside this for loop we have to use one more for loop. This is called as nesting. Okay, and now I'll say int j equal to 0, and now j should be less than, now this is the number of columns. Okay, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3. Index number 0, 1, 2. So it will go till 2. So we should have j less than 3, and then j plus plus. Okay. Now you can use any character here, but generally people use I and j. Alright. Yes. So I will open the curly braces here, and now I will say C out and values. Okay, I and j. Okay, I and j. Alright, so now let me run this, and you can see I get all the elements of this array. Okay, 53, 22, 11, 19, 6 and minus 3. Okay, now you can pause this video and try to find the similarities between this and this, or try to find the difference between these two loops. So here all we needed to do was iterate over the index number from 0 till 4, correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is why only one for loop was enough. Now here what we need to do is we need to iterate over this and this, and then when I am iterating over this, I need to iterate over this, this and this. Okay, so this first for loop is to iterate over the rows. Okay, 0 and 1. This j is to iterate over these individual sub elements, I can say. Okay, all right. So what happens is, let me explain it once here. Int I is equal to 0. I is for index number. I less than 2. This is true first. Okay, because we are starting from 0. This is 0. Okay, this is the array in 0th position. This will run. What is this? J is equal to 0. J is equal to 0 is for this. J less than 3, which is true. So first value that gets printed is 0 and 0. Okay, 0 and 0. So if I show you this, it will be clear. 53. So 53 will be printed out. Then remember, after the first iteration of this, then it will go back to this and not this. Okay, because this is incomplete now. We have to print 2 more values. So this will be 1, j will be 1. 1 less than 3 is true. So what will be printed is 0, comma 1. Okay, 0, comma 1, 22. Then once again j will be incremented. J will become 2, 2 less than 3 true. What will be printed is 0, comma 2. 0, comma 2 is 11. 0, comma 2 is 11. So now this is done. Okay, it has run 3 times. Now the I index value will be incremented. First it was 0. Now it will be incremented to 1. 1 less than 2. The control goes to this. Now once again, this will run 3 times. This will run 3 times for these 3 values. For these 3 values. And 1, 0 will be printed out. 1, 0 will be printed out. 1, 1 will be printed out. 1, 1 will be printed out. And 1, 2 will be printed out. 1, 2 will be printed out. Okay. So here I hope you can make out the difference. This is only for one array. This is for 2D array. Alright. Yes. I hope the concept of 2D arrays is clear. If not, please rewatch this video once again and it will be clear. Okay. So that's it for this video. Go ahead and practice the things that we have learned in this video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.